Salute, my amplified unit. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. If you celebrate Christmas or any type of holiday tradition, awesome. If you don't celebrate Christmas or any type of holiday tradition around this time, then get yourself a gift just because, right? Get yourself your own present. Be thankful for shit you have and shit you don't have, so you have something to look forward to. There you go. So even if you don't celebrate, you can still celebrate, if that makes sense. But for BC, man, it is Christmas time, and it is actually Christmas Day, guys. My Green Bay Packers are on right now. We're getting our asses handed to us by the Miami Dolphins. It is halftime. So BC chose this time to shoot the shit with my amplified unit during halftime. I will go then and finish watching my Green Bay Packers most likely get the shit kicked out of them. And if we lose this game, we are out of the playoffs for sure. But that's what's happening. And then later this evening, BC has to catch a flight out of state. That's right. Who else would travel on the holidays? This guy would. So hopefully you guys are not doing what BC is doing. Hopefully you guys are around family or friends, maybe huddled around a fucking tree, staying warm with some good fucking hot coffee, maybe some hot cocoa, something, man. But hopefully you guys are spending the holidays a little bit better than BC. I'm watching my Packers get the shit kicked out of them, and then I got to catch a flight out of state. There's better ways I probably could have planned this. But this is one of the highlights of the day for sure, man. Shooting the shit with my amplified unit, getting my mind off of my Packers. But I'm not a fair weather fan, even in defeat. Even when we're getting the shit kicked out of us, I'll be sporting all the G's, man. BC's got more G's than Verizon, T-Mobile. I'll always be supporting my Packers no matter what. But man, do we have a lot of shit to fix. Now, if you guys are wondering, man, the biggest question, as you've already seen, has been answered. Do not worry. Dunkin' Donuts was open. BC was able to find a Dunkin' that was open. Nice hot coffee, at least until about 4 or 5 p.m. today. So there is coffee shops open on Christmas. BC was worried. Every year it's different. So we're going to stay amplified, man, at least until 4 or 5. Then we got to find some way that plane better have coffee on board, bro. I got to get into touch with the fine people at JetBlue to see if they got coffee on board. All right, guys. What I want to discuss is something huge, man. It might not seem that big to you because they just, once again, they did this at Thanksgiving and they did it again within the last 24 hours. They just shot out a video on WWE.com or their social media site of Dominik Mysterio and Rhea Ripley showing up to Dominik's family's house. First, it was actually Rey Mysterio in his mother's house. This was family's house in Florida. It wasn't actually Rey's house. But they showed up to have to jump in with Christmas festivities after what they did at Thanksgiving. If they thought they were going to get through the front door, they got another thing coming. But WWE, they spit this out on their social media just for a little bit of oh, by the way, look what happened recently. And BC is befuddled because this is so fucking epic that BC is going to question. And I'm going to detail why it should have been on television, why this wasn't on television, and why that is unacceptable. And why something like this needs to be a new trend going forward to be on our televisions, especially on a 3-hour show like Monday night. It is unacceptable to be producing that type of content on social and say, fuck you to your television show. But my overall take that I hope you guys do take from this, I should say, my overall take that I hope you take is that this video is actually going to be positive. Some Christmas fucking cheer. See, BC's got the fucking lights on, even though my Packers are getting their ass whooped, even though Dunkin', I believe, closes at 5. BC's going to hit you with some positivity. I saw something in the last 24 hours that I saw at Thanksgiving that is exceptional. And it still befuddles me that we cannot take that and put it on television. Anyway, I'm going to get to that in a minute, all right? We're going to detail it. I'm going to let you guys hear it for yourself, and BC's going to break down the segment because this explains everything I always tell you guys about a storyline, about shit that is interesting. Because at the end of the day, you can call it sports entertainment or wrestling. I don't care. It's one of the same, whether you want to hear that or not, right? In AEW, we call it wrestlers. In WWE, we call them sports entertainers. At the end of the day, it's a television show. Okay? It's not real combat. We all know that. It's predetermined. It's scripted. It's rehearsed. Or if you listen to Ronda Rousey, we practice in the ring. So stupid. But it is, right? We know that. So at the end of the day, these are performers on a television show. We just ask that you entertain us. So we're going to get to that, man, for sure. And at the end of the day, wow, we need more of that on the television show. We're going to get to that. I want to start off with a little lighthearted Christmas story, if I may. And of course I may. It's my fucking channel. Recently, while doing some Christmas shopping for some individuals, family, friends, you get it. You know, you go to the local mall and you hope you find something, right? So here's what happened. We walked into one of these stores. It was like a Foot Locker or a Champs or one of these shoe stores, you know, you find in a mall. And I'm with a good friend of mine, and she does not watch pro wrestling, like at all. She's been over before while I'm watching and doing my notes, and she's doing other work, and she'll kind of like chime in every now and again, but she doesn't really watch. She doesn't know all the wrestlers. But I want to cue up a photo because I had to take a picture after she said this because I said my amp unit needs to fucking hear this shit. This was great. Somebody that doesn't even watch professional wrestling. And we come across these shoes in the shoe store. And I didn't even see them at first. I was looking at some high tops elsewhere. Supposed to be shopping for others, but instead I'm like really thinking about my own fucking my own fucking needs at that point. What I would like, I should say. And she says, "Hey BC, this would be perfect for that asshole in AEW." And I'm like, what the fuck? And again, I'm a few feet away at this. I'm not even looking where she's looking. All I heard is, BC, this would be great for the asshole in AEW. I'm like, what fucking asshole in AEW? I walk over, and I'm hoping I can cue this picture up. I mean, she was obviously talking, she does not watch pro wrestling. She was talking about MJF, guys. She remembers the scarf and his attire. That the moral of the story is that when you can captivate people that don't even watch, right? That's what we call casual fans. And in my friend's case, she just doesn't watch. There's not enough there to even keep her engaged, even on a casual basis, unfortunately. And that sums up pro wrestling today. But I always tell you, it's characters like MJF, characters like Bray Wyatt, that can, when you're flicking through the channel, you just kind of stay for a few minutes because their words alone or their character kind of just draws you to put the remote down. Maybe you don't even realize you put the remote down, but you did. Because people like MJF, they captivate. Now, I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact, actually, even though she's been over when BC has been doing notes on AEW, I'm pretty sure she cannot name more than 5 individuals. But when she said that asshole in AEW, and I think she even, when I go, who? I looked over and I'm like, who? She says, isn't he the champion now? And that's when I walked over, and sure enough, she nailed it. Yeah, he's the champion. Yeah, he's the asshole of AEW. Yeah, that's MJF. And she matched up a shoe with MJF's attire, and I just fucking love that, man. And this is a dude that wrestled, what, guys? 6 or 7 times in 2022. I think MJF only wrestled 6 to 7 times in 2022, I believe. And they did enough with him, and he's so fucking good that he transcends the person that is not just a wrestling fan. So anyway, I had to tell you guys that little Christmas story there, man. I was just baffled by that in a good way. I was like, damn, you got that from a shoe? And BC was rocked because I was like, yes, that should be called the MJF. It is perfect for Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Anyway, I hope I was able to put that photo up. And also, there was a Christmas ornament that was given to me by another good friend of mine, and hopefully I can cue that photo up. It was just great. It's made out of wood the whole thing is wood. And then it was glossed over in this awesome, I don't know if it's a paint job. I don't know how it was done. That's a different type of arts and crafts that BC knows how it works. I don't, and I don't even care because I just know it's epic. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite wrestler of all time. Macho Man Randy Savage. And back in the day, he cut an awesome promo. Oh, yeah, it's the cream of the crop. Yeah, the cream of the crop, and we don't stop. Yeah, dig it. The Macho Man, he was, today's wrestling fan, if you're younger, you don't really have characters like that anymore. It's unfortunate, but we got to have a lot of characters like that were just larger than life. The Hulk Hogans, the Roddy Pipers, the Ric Flairs, the Ultimate Warriors, Macho Man Randy Savage, Jake Roberts back in the day. Undertaker, obviously, he didn't even have to say words, and he was larger than life. We grew up at a time where just everybody was just larger than life, not just physically, not just because a lot of them were on stuff, but just they were just their presence, their aura, their characters. It was just larger than life. Everybody, even mid-carders, or what they would call mid-carders, to me, they were larger than life on every status. But people like Big Boss Man, for instance, one of my favorites, because they were just larger than life. Anyway, that was such an awesome gift. It's something just like that. That's what a gift means to BC. It's just wood. And somebody just created this. It wasn't from the mall, like a chain store or even a mom and pop shop. I believe this came from one of those like craft fairs, because my friend is really into those type of things, and came across that and said, "Oh, that's BC," and I love it. I love it. I don't need $1,000 gifts. I'm a simple dude, man. Yeah, I grew up in projects, guys. You gotta remember, I'm a simple dude. To get something that just is meaningful is so cool. So hopefully I was able to cue that photo up as well of that gift. It's so awesome. And yeah, pretty fucking cool. What I would like to do at the end of this video too is show you guys my Christmas village. That's right. Every year I put together a Christmas village, and every year I seem to spend more and more on this shit. I don't have a lot of room, but I'm able to make a Christmas village. I would hope to share that with you. If I can remember, I'm gonna at the end of this video show you guys this year's Christmas village that I put together, man, because I really put some thought into this. All right, now that's enough. Let's go into, and I'm going to cue this up. I want you guys to actually hear this too. This is Dominik Mysterio and Rhea Ripley showing up to Dominik's family's house. It's not Ray in his mother's house, but it's family member's house. I believe it's his grandparents, because when they open the door, it's the grandfather that's kind of at the door. And they did this at Thanksgiving, and it was the talk of the wrestling world, and they just put it on social media. It wasn't even a part of the show. I think that it got so popular over the weekend that on that Monday, they actually showed it on television, like they replayed it. And I was like, well, fuck, if you just showed this at TV, you would have been fucking fine. But they did it again, and it's great for social. I totally understand. But guys, when your television product is suffering, SmackDown is carrying all the weight of WWE, and this past Friday with their holiday themed show, it just shit the bed. So even SmackDown shit the bed this week. And you could say, oh, it's a holiday throwaway show, BC. They're always sucky. But still, with the new the 3 H's regime, we're supposed to be better than Vince, I thought. We're supposed to be correcting the wrongs and not just resting on laurels. Or not just resting on, oh, it's the holidays, people aren't going to watch, or people just know it's sucky, or people are just going to expect the 34th Miracle on 34th Street fight. People are just, well, no, man. I thought we're different now, right? I mean, this is the whole thing that I was sold on. H is going to give us new shit. Different shit. Make it feel better. More important. And Friday just shit the bed. And Monday night, every single Monday is a chore to get through still. If H made it better, it was just barely minuscule after 6 months. Now, even if you say this is going to take time, this is unacceptable, man. The formula is the same. The redundancy, the commercial breaks are everything is the same still. And the talent is still 50-50 booked. In fact, literally, and I mean this wholeheartedly, factually, the talent is actually worse than 50-50 booked under 3H's regime. That's not good. So when your television product is suffering to that level, where the best rating you've gotten in the last couple months is a 1.7, which was just last week by 5,000 viewers. Other than that, you've been in 1.4, 1.5, 1.6s. That's not Monday Night Football. That means you're putting together a shit product. When your television product is horrible to that level, and you're producing your best content on social media or WWE.com, that's not good. Transfer your social shit, which is the epic programming, and put it on your actual programming. Because the same thing happened at Thanksgiving happened for Christmas within the last 24 hours when they posted Dominik and Rhea Ripley showing up to Dominik's grandfather's house. I believe it's grandfather anyway. And Rey Mysterio is there. Dominik's mother is there. The family is there. And I want you guys just to listen. And I'm going to pause it and stop it every now and again. And basically, stop pausing it. Watch the whole thing then yourself. This is not about the whole... This is about BC critiquing it and telling my amp unit why it was epic and why it should be on television, not on social. So I'm going to stop it at times because we need to talk about it. This is where we dissect it. We critique it, and you're going to be actually shocked. BC's going to critique it in a positive way. Who would have thought? But, when I did this for Thanksgiving, please stop pausing. I'm trying to listen. It's right there, man. You're not watching BC to listen to this solely or watch it. You're listening to my point of view now and why the shows are suffering. Why don't we put this on it? Listen to how epic this is, man. And BC's just going to break it down every now and again, man. So this is Dominik and Rhea Ripley showing up to the front door of his family's house.
I think he forgot. It's the month of forgiveness. I think we're good. We've been really good this last month, and your dad has a horrible memory, so it's all good.
You get this? Alright,
Christmas time.
Feliz Navidad. I think I saw a couple presents under the tree with your name on it.
Really? With mine?
I think it said Mom.
Ooh.
Dominik tells Rhea, I think I saw a few presents under the tree through the window with your name on it. I think it said Mommy.
I'm excited. I want to know what it is.
Rhea's all excited. I want to know what it is, she says. Open the door. I think it's a grandfather. Everyone's hugging. Now the mom's coming over. Mom's pissed. Ray's in the background putting his fucking mask on because he knows the camera crew's down, and he's like, fuck, we just did this last month for Thanksgiving. Fuck no, bro.
We're here for the holidays. Dominik, what are you talking about?
This is not gonna happen again.
I'm here for Christmas.
Get off of me, man.
Dominik throws a fucking purple Santa's hat on Ray. Ray chucks it down and says, get out of here, Dominik.
Leave the house. You did this at Thanksgiving. You're not gonna do it at my parents'
I
house.
came here with open arms, trying to celebrate Christmas with the family.
Exactly.
Brought Mommy here.
Yeah.
I brought Mommy here.
Take care of this. Let's step
You
outside.
wanna do this outside?
Let's step outside. Come on.
Alright, you wanna do this outside?
Let's step outside.
Let's go then.
You wanna take care of this? Let's step
I
outside.
came here with open arms, just trying to
Open arms. You know exactly why you're here.
Somebody.
No, Ray's trying to shut the door in his face. Dominik's like, damn. All right, is that what we're doing?
You know exactly why you're here.
Yeah?
Now they're outside.
I know what you really want.
Down, little man.
Hit me. That's what you want for Christmas, isn't it? Hit me. Hit me in the face. Come on. Come on. Isn't that what you really wanted?
Accept your present.
Come on. Hit me.
I know you want it.
Huh?
Dominik just pushed. Dominik just shoved Rey Mysterio back. Now, Mama Mysterio, not Mommy, she went to smack either Dominik or Rhea. I can't tell. I think maybe Dominik, and Rhea stops Dominik's mother with her left arm, just stops the smack. And with her left arm, Dominik's mother smacks Mommy, Rhea Ripley, across her face.
No. What the hell?
Smacked her good. Now the police just showed up into the driveway. Rhea's yelling, I've been abused. Arrest her. She's ruining Christmas.
This is abuse.
Look. Take a breath.
No, you're kidding me. I just slapped in the face. You're gonna do something about it.
But I need to know what's going on. Is she all right?
We have done
you guys
nothing.
okay?
So
We have
listen,
done
What
nothing.
happened here, bud?
I showed up here at my grandparents' house.
Dude!
Hey, come on, relax. Hey, okay, come over here with me.
Okay, officer, just what happened?
Let's see what happens.
He pushed me.
Thanksgiving, one
I'll
time.
let you into the house.
You wanted to ruin our Christmas. It's my parents' house. We're just trying to have a good time.
Mom,
He
he
can't.
tried
to hit my husband. He pushed him.
You touched me.
Yes.
Touched me. I said, you know what?
Yes.
They're talking to the police in separate, two different cops. Everyone's talking to her.
Yes, it has. Thanksgiving night, you went into my house.
Ray's trying to remain calm, talking to his officer with Dominik's mother, his wife, Ray's wife, and the other officer is talking to Dominik and Rhea, and they're hysterical. They're trying to press charges.
Drop.
No.
Yo, I didn't.
Let's not walk up behind it.
Yo, I
Nothing to you. Nothing.
Listen, what's your name?
My name's Dom.
Okay, let's come over here. Look,
Why are you talking to him
Listen,
like that?
based off
Why are
what's
you being
going
so
on.
serious,
Hold on,
huh?
hold on. I'll explain what's going on, but I need you to turn around for me.
This is
All right,
abuse.
I need you to turn around for me.
Now they're arresting Dominik now for shoving Rey Mysterio.
What? What?
Relax.
You're kidding.
We're the ones that got abused, and
I need you to stay still.
she got her hands laid on.
All right, man.
This is
Hold on.
abuse and you're arresting him? Are you kidding me? What the?
Rhea,
Don't
Rhea.
you man me! Don't you man me!
Okay, relax.
Rhea Ripley is now about to take out a cop, a police officer.
She's the one that got slapped in the face.
right.
My mom hit mommy.
Okay, that's the best line in all this. My mom hit mommy. Come on, bro. Bro, we gotta replay that. Hold on, please. I gotta go back. Hold on. Listen to this carefully. As he's being arrested, Dominik, this was so what's the word that I want? This was so sincere. My mom hit mommy. Listen to this, guys. You're gonna love it.
Don't you man me!
Okay, relax.
She's the one that got slapped in the face. My mom hit mommy.
My mom hit mommy.
What the?
Rhea,
Don't
Rhea.
you man me! Don't you man me!
Okay, relax.
I gotta replay it.
She's the one that got slapped in the face. My mom hit mommy.
My mom hit mommy.
No! Don't! Get off me!
Rhea's great in this, bro. Rhea's great.
This is not okay!
Coffin and priest.
Watch your head.
Coffin and
All right,
priest.
I'm gonna get you
Bail
out!
me
I'm
out.
gonna get you there.
Guys,
Mommy.
this is...
All right,
Hey, bail me out.
You gotta get out of here, man.
So now they shoved him into the car. He's yelling, "Call Finn and Priest. Call Finn and Priest. They'll know what to do. Bail me out, mommy. Bail me out."
Hey, call Finn and call priest.
You guys are arresting the wrong one! The wrong one! You're supposed to be arresting them!
She's the one that got hit.
Exactly! They
Mommy,
hit me.
bail
That's
me out.
abuse.
Mommy, bail me out.
No! Don't!
No, don't let them take me. Don't. Hey,
Do not start this car!
Hey, I won't make it in jail. Don't let them take me.
I won't make it in jail, he says. Don't let him take me.
Stop! No! You don't know what you're doing! You're ruining Christmas!
You're ruining Christmas. This is just one of the best fucking produced segments we've seen all year in World Wrestling Entertainment, and it's stuffed on social.
Don't call him.
No!
Don't let him take me. I won't make it. I won't make it.
Watch yourself, man. I don't want
I don't want to get hit either, but you gotta let him out! He did nothing wrong!
Bail
Stop!
me out.
The car is slowly backing up. Rhea's almost getting ran over.
I'm watching myself, I can see you, but you're arresting the wrong person! Stop!
Car's driving away. Dominik's officially arrested. Rhea's in the middle of the road on her knees screaming.
To be a happy time! What the hell is this? You arrest the wrong person!
This is great. Now that ends that's going to end the segment, which is, the video, I guess you would say, because it was on social. You could see when she's screaming, there's a bunch of neighbors gathered around. I had to think, because this wasn't a real community, guys. The neighbors, I don't know if they were tipped off beforehand from the film crew. A lot of times when you're doing movies or whatever, you would tell all the neighbors or whatever what's going to happen, just so they know. Obviously, the police department was absolutely tipped off because people would have been calling, and that looked like a real cruiser, man, or with real police. I don't know if they were... I don't know, man. It looked as real as could possibly be. Either way, they were definitely... The police department absolutely knew about it. If this was not real police, not a real cruiser... They were obviously they filmed this like it was a real show or movie production, because the whole neighborhood was used. I mean, the car was driving off. Rhea's in the middle of the street on her knees screaming. I mean, yeah, that's a disturbance domestically. So this was just so well produced. Neighbors, and you think about, like, man, what are the neighbors thinking about this? Like, this is crazy to happen in their small little fucking town, because it looks like a great community. Guys, I wanted you to hear that, really, and you can go back and check it out yourself. Most of you probably already saw it, whatever. But I wanted to break that down because I want you guys to see what I always tell you about how we need these type of segments on our television shows, because the television show is so formulaic. It's so redundant, and it is boring, guys. The shows are boring. Let's just take Monday Night Raw for 3 hours. I always say it's a chore to get through. And I know you guys tell me the same. It's 3 hours of the same shit. You set up feuds the same way. They're not even feuds. But you set up wrestler A in the ring, maybe saying some words, and then wrestler B comes down and they have a beef. And then it leads to about 3 or 4 matches on television, and then at the pay-per-view, we see it for a 5th fucking time. No creativity. The storyline is non-existent. The feud, it's irrelevant. There is none. Because the storyline in feud is just the same wrestlers wrestling every week, and then we get to the pay-per-view and we see the same match. That's not a storyline, guys. You know, a lot of times people say, well, but they've been in a storyline for 9 months, BC. What do you mean it came out of nowhere? Wrestling each other and just beating each other up for 9 months does not equate to a storyline. That does not suffice as a storyline, guys. That's not a story. This type of shit is what adds layers to a storyline. I'm about to do a video in the future. I've already started it. It's a long type of video. It's going to be shorter in minutes, but it takes a lot going into it. And it's the Booker T Stone Cold story from way back. And I just feel like that's a great example of what is lacking on television these days. But this is one of those things, man, where I always tell you guys, there's a lack of care. There's a lack of creativity. There's a lack of resources, lack of financials, lack of giving a shit when producing or starting stories in WWE these days. There's a lack. It's like nobody has the time to get creative. Nobody wants to spend any energy. Nobody wants to spend any care on setting up fun television and fun stories and fun character development. Nobody wants to do that these days. So backstage, you get a segment where Wrestler A is saying something and Wrestler B stops by and says, I heard you say you're the best. I doubt that very much. In fact, I'll see you in the ring later to see who's the best. And Wrestler A's like, that's fine with me. And then we're like, oh, wow, we have to wait now to see Wrestler A and Wrestler B settle their little fucking 30-second feud that they just began. It's not fun. You wonder why nobody needs to watch 3 hours of Monday Night Raw anymore. What is fun, guys? What is interesting on Monday nights? What's captivating? There's nothing. It's not even a television show. It's just redundancy. I don't even know how we, the last of the Mohicans, I call us, right? We're the last. We're the tried and trues. We're the ones that tune in out of habit and hope. We tune in every Monday out of habit, because it's what we've been doing since we were little kids, and hoping that the product gets better. We're the last ones, man. And I don't even know how we get through 3 hours of Monday night, whether it's VKM or 3H's. The show sucks. It's not a television show. It doesn't feel organic. There's no suspense. There's no special value to these shows anymore. There's no surprises. Nothing. You bring some returns back, and it's in the most lackadaisical way. It's in the most lackluster way. It's in the most meaningless of ways to bring people back, by the way. The debuts are so sad. So what do you mean, BC, is what I always get asked. You always say there's lack of care, there's lack of giving a shit, there's lack of creativity. What do you expect them to do, BC? They're in the arena. You can only go from the ring to backstage. No, you get creative. I always say I don't care if it's in the supermarket with Booker T and Stone Cold. I don't care if it's The Rock or Stone Cold, I forgot which one, throwing a championship over the fucking bridge. I don't care if they're fighting in the bar like the APA. I don't care if they're fucking fighting outside the arena in a snowstorm, which we used to see. I don't care. Just get creative, man. Create the storyline. You know, they took a lot of flack with Stone Cold and Brian Pillman. You guys remember that situation, and it took a dark fucking turn, I understand, but that was fucking great. Triple H, Randy Orton, I think that was at Triple H's home, maybe? Or was it H coming into Randy Orton's? I don't know, but it was fun. It was a different layer. It created a special aspect, and you were glued to the television show that you were watching. This right here is fucking epic. It's epic. Can you get better? Absolutely. But when I say epic, it's because they utilized every resource that's needed in telling a good story and making a good television show. The irony is, it wasn't even for a television show. But they tapped into everything. They actually got creative. They set that whole fucking thing up, man. It takes some brainstorming. Everybody has to put their minds together and create something like that. I love that. That shows you give a fuck. So right there, you knocked off two birds with one stone. It shows you care. And it shows you had to get creative. Then it shows that they're willing to put in the financials. You had to fly everybody out there. Rhea Ripley, right? Why else would she be with Dominik? Rhea Ripley is dating Buddy Matthews. Buddy fucking Murphy. Buddy Matthews. Buddy from AEW with Malachi's group House of Black. They're dating. So they're not dating in real life. But you say maybe they're dating? No. They're filming this because they're actually giving a fuck to create something cool. So the financials. Shutting down the fucking street while they film, because that's what they did. They got a permit, obviously. And that's why I believe that the neighborhood knew exactly what was going on. That's how they were able to get cops. Or even if they're fake, the police department, it doesn't matter. You got everybody on board. You showed the financials. You put your money where your mouth is. To produce something cool, they put in the financials. They put in the resources. They showed they cared. They showed that they could get creative if they truly want to. They gave us something that's intriguing, something that's entertaining, something we're talking about, something we want to watch. Do you guys know across the board, if you add it all together, there are over 6 million views. There's different variations of the video. So if you add it all up, it's over 6 million views, probably more, by the way. These are just some of the reputable vids that I've seen. Over 6 million views already, and it just got put up yesterday, Christmas Eve. So, I mean, this is what I'm telling you guys, man. You guys always wonder what BC's talking about and why I'm so negative, is what people say, right? BC's so negative. Well, this is why. This is television. This is entertaining. This is intriguing. This builds character development. This builds a storyline. I'm actually interested in more Rey Mysterio and Dominik now. And it's just from this online shit that a lot of people don't even get to see. A lot of people won't see unless they replay it on the television show. Do you know what you could do, guys? If they're en route, right? Maybe you start it with the airport, because they already acknowledged the film crew at the start of the segment, guys. The start of this video. They acknowledged. Dominik looks at the camera and says, "You're going to get all this, right?" So you start at the airport. They just got into town, right? This is toward the beginning of Monday Night Raw. And then you follow them throughout the night. They're headed to Dominik's family's house where Rey Mysterio and his mother is, Rey's wife. Right? And I know, BC, that's SmackDown talent. Well, Dominik is Raw, so you could still utilize Rey Mysterio, clearly. So you start off Monday Night Raw, and then a couple of segments throughout the first and second hours that they're traveling, right? Maybe they're in a fucking taxi or a limo, and they're on their way, right? And then they show up to the house. And before they go in, Rhea's going to put herself together a little bit, and we wait another segment. And then toward the end of Monday Night Raw, you utilize that. It doesn't even have to end the show. But you can drag this out to make an entertainment, several of segments. So we have to see what happens when Dominik and Rhea knock on the door, right? That's what I mean about a certain level of intrigue, even if it's minuscule. We need to see what happens. We've been following this story throughout the night. And then Dominik gets arrested. You know what that means, guys? That's a captivating, compelling cliffhanger. I always tell you guys, these wrestling shows need cliffhangers. Well, there you go. There's a cliffhanger. Dominik got arrested. Now you have to see what happened. Now, who ended up bailing him out? What type of mood is he in now? Is he going to be looking for Rey Mysterio? How pissed off is Ray that this happened twice now over the holidays? It's a compelling, creative, captivating cliffhanger. It's everything I always say this show needs in a nutshell. And you should be producing that type of stuff several times per show. Doesn't have to be at a fucking house, or doesn't always have to be that far away from the arena. But I'm just saying, get creative, guys. What we witnessed over Thanksgiving and what we witnessed with this video here on WWE.com or on social, this is the type of content we need on the television shows. Not we want. We need this shit. Pro wrestling is not going to survive on just bangers. Let's get wrestler A and wrestler B in the ring and let them do a bunch of gymnastics for 25 minutes because they practice in their backyard on the trampoline. And now they can do a bunch of cool moves. And we're going to ooh and ah, and we're going to chant, "This is awesome. Fight forever. Holy shit. Holy shit." We're going to do all our chants, and afterwards we're going to go on social and we're going to say, "Wow, we just witnessed a banger." And then tomorrow we're going to forget all about it and we're never going to watch it again. And then you wonder why the ratings are in the shitter and why pro wrestling is on life support. We can't survive with just bangers. I understand a lot of you guys love the gymnastics. You love the work whip right now. It's a new era in wrestling where it's all about the worker and the smaller guy and what they can do. I get it, guys. We can add that. We've always had, well, not always, but back in the 90s, we had what was called the cruiserweights, and they were fun. So now we have more of that in 2022. That's fine. I'll give you guys what you want, and it can be utilized correctly. I mean, I hope so. I would like more in-ring psychology. I would like more selling in these gymnastic matches, these trampoline matches. But I give you guys that, but you guys have to give all of us back something else. larger than life characters, storylines that matter, that are meaningful, storylines that captivate, feuds that intrigue, cliffhangers at the end of the shows, at the end of storylines. Cliffhangers. You guys know that that's why we fell in love with pro wrestling, man. Give us this type of shit back, mix it with your bangers, and produce a wonderful show. We can all get what we want out of pro wrestling, but if you totally ex-nay this type of stuff, which is what they've done for the better part of 10 years, which is why the ratings have dipped so much, and merchandise sales, and every other metric, the only way WWE is bringing in boatloads of money is because countries like Saudi are able, or wanting to, and are able to give him Vince McMahon $100 million for just 2 shows every year. And it's a multi-year deal. And Fox was willing to pay the $1 billion. USA Network was willing to pay over $500,000 for their multi-year deal. That's how WWE made their money, guys. It wasn't from ticket sales the last 10 years, and it was not from merchandise, and it was not from fan interest, because that has been diminished. So this was so fucking good. And it's desperately needed on television. It is a shame that we do not get this on television. And if there's one thing I can plead to 3H's or VKM or Tony Khan or anybody that's going to run a wrestling promotion in the future, please always remember this is needed. This should be on the television show, because at the end of the day, whether you want to call it wrestling or sports entertainment, it is a television show. It's still a television show. It is an entertainment show. It just is. Those may seem like cringy words, but that's what it is. And you just can't produce Monday Night Raw the next 10 years like we just saw the last 10 years. It's not going to exist another 10 years if that's the case. This type of shit we need to see more of. That was so good, man. That was interesting. That's the talk of the wrestling world, guys. That's how I know. And it was the talk of the wrestling world last month around Thanksgiving. And here we're doing it again. Something that's not even on the shows is creating the most buzz. That's why I say what I'm saying. I always only give you guys factual information and content. This is no different. The first moment I saw this, I said, what the fuck are we doing? It's so good. Why is this not on the shows, which are so bad? BC Amplify, thank you guys so much, man. It's past halftime. You know what? I probably missed a chunk of the third quarter. We're getting our asses whooped anyway. I can just tell you right now, but I'm going to go watch the rest of the game. I'm going to end this video with my Christmas Village, a little Christmas present from BC to you guys, man. You get to see what I produce, what I put together. The Christmas Village, man. I filmed this over the last, what one was this? A couple nights ago, I think. When I put the whole village up, it was fucking like 1 a.m. or something. And I just wanted to film the whole village with all the lights on and shit. So I hope you guys enjoy this, man. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Whatever you guys celebrate, whoever you celebrate with, I want to give you guys a salute to every single one of my Amplified Unit members. You guys are going to be thanked right after the Christmas Village segment I'm hopefully going to put into this video. So after the Christmas Village, I'm going to give a shout out to all my Amplified Unit Gold members, man. My Gold status, Gold card members. You guys obviously, as always, get a huge shout out and a huge salute for showing that extra level of support. BC, top guy, I'm out. The Amplified man saying check you. Peace. All right, so this is more of the residential part of the village, not the actual town center. This is where you're going to find Fuckwad Fred teaching his son, Fuckwad Jr., how to put in a transmission into the car. The problem is that he's been teaching Fuckwad Jr. how to put in this transmission every year for the past 5 years, so I don't even know if Fuckwad knows what he's doing. Anyway, the street lights, man, how cool is that? I put up the fence to separate the houses, that tree with the snow on it, dude. Come on, bro. Look at that fence, man. That came up lit up like that. I bought it, already had the lights and the wreath. I knew that was perfect for Mrs. Jenkins' house. That's Miss Jenkins in the doorway, watching over her niece, who was feeding, I believe that's Coco Beware's bird. Coco Beware, much love and respect, man. He just was hospitalized recently, by the way. So we hope the best for Coco Beware. That right there, man, if you cross to the next yard, which I had trees separate the yards, man. How cool is that? And look at the lights up. I actually had to glue those lights onto the log cabin. That fireplace, man, that was Becky Lynch right there. That's Becky Lynch and Mickie James over the fire. They're waiting on some wood. As you can see, that was some wood being gathered. That doesn't look like Seth Rollins bringing the wood over to Becky Lynch. I don't know who that is, but they're bringing the wood over. So that's the log cabin. That's the residential area. If you go over that bridge, now we're into town center, man. This is where you're going to find the big Christmas tree for a photo op. You're going to be able to pick up a Christmas tree at the Christmas tree shop. Check that out, man. That light beaming from within the shop. And then I put up a separate tree shop right there, man. That's Tex Ferguson opening up the door so that his associate can write up a brand new Christmas order for this lady. Receptionist Rebecca for WWE headquarters. Look at all the trees inside, man. How cool is that? All the snow. I got all the lights really glistening through the fucking snow. How cool. Then you go up to the Christmas Spirits Cafe in the background. First of all, you see everybody gathered around the musicians. It's not a big crowd, so clearly they suck, but that's another story. Christmas Cafe right there, man. There's Danny Dipshit Dugenheimer pouring the coffees, all lit up on the wall. They also got wine back there, if you like a nice glass of wine. You got mulled wine hot cider right next door. And he actually splurged. He got himself an associate, as you can see. Now look at these tables filled with cookies, hot dogs, French fries, Coca-Colas. You know, right by the grill. I set up a grill. Look at that. That's a cheeseburger on this guy's spatula, man. On the fucking grill. I got an actual cheeseburger. The snow on top of the roof. You guys see there's a hot chocolate stand, which people are getting hot chocolate. All the lights in between the shops, by the way, I got those. Those are regular street lamps that you would get for any village set. I put those between the shops. And then you see where the Christmas photo op is. They're setting up the tree now. You got this dude setting up the ladder so his associate can climb the ladder and put up the rest of the lights. You see the spotlights. Those are real spotlights, guys. It actually takes a spotlight right on the fucking Christmas tree. You see behind, they're setting up the lights. Behind there, this other associate actually has a box of lights. How cool is that? This dude's got the big fucking candle that is going to be set up. There was a little dog inside of a wreath box as well. I don't know if you guys saw that. That's Clark Griswold, guys. He's lighting the tree up when he gets the okay signal. If you guys don't know who Clark Griswold is, do your research. But he's going to light that whole tree up. Then you go over to a pretty exciting part of the village. This is the Santa Claus and Paws Pet Adoption Center. If you guys are looking to care for an animal, give them a good home. There you go, man. And then you lead into the church. That's kind of the wilderness part. You got all the deer around. All the lights are on in the church. If you want to go in there, there's more festivities happening there. Don't mind the wine in the background. That's some of my wine collection, guys. That's not part of the village. But here's an overall take, dude. This is the village for 2022. I've had a lot to do this year and a lot of things I had to attend to, but I'm pretty impressed and I'm pretty happy with the finished product. I really am. So that's the village for 2022. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, guys, to you and yours.